feel good. That's the goal. That's really what I'm here for. But if you had to pick a top like 2 to 3 songs that you'd say everybody should be listening to right now, what would you say that would be? If you have like influences that you love, which we'll talk about that more in a second. Like usually outside songs is the first thing I think of. But if there's one in there that you're like, I gotta throw mine in there, then I'm here for that. I love it. So either option, I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, I just feel like finding people to listen to my music has been the hardest struggle. So if it was like, what song should people be listening to? I'm like, me. And then you don't have to like it. And if you don't like it, no stress. But what if you like it? And then that's a win for all of us.
Oh, we need to know. Okay, so in general, if you could give me like a rundown of your journey, maybe from where you started, like from where you were little, like what did you start with? What made you kind of fall in love with music in general? And then kind of how you got to where you are now, if that makes sense.
I'll try and make this as brief as I can. I've loved music since always. Apparently, as a baby, if a song would come on, my diaper would just bump to the rhythm.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, so I already had rhythm like as a baby. I've been singing since forever and making up songs always. I started teaching myself the piano, so my mom put me in lessons when I was 4. Wow. And so I was classically trained. My teacher was really intense, and so I became quite a proficient enough classically trained pianist. Then started learning guitar, and then I had my first concert in high school. My sister dragged me to an open mic at Velour here in Provo when I was, like 15 or 16, Yeah,
I love it.
Yes, I used to have horrendous stage fright.
Really?
So in 5th grade, like crippling stage fright.
That shocks me a little bit. I'm so surprised.
Yeah, like crippling stage fright. But I still love to perform. But in 5th grade, we had this talent show, and I learned Kelly Clarkson's song, A Moment Like This. And it came time to perform the tune, and they were calling my name, and I wouldn't get up out of my chair. Like, so I didn't. Yeah, my family came. They were all ready to hear me. And I think this was in front of our entire, 5th grade class, and, all of the 5th graders, and I wouldn't get up. I was so scared.
Real.
Anyway, and then, our family would have these annual Christmas parties. Classic. And my dad would have a musical program, so all these people would come and perform and sing. And I got to perform finally one year when I was 12, and I started practicing the song in July.
Of course.
And then the day of, and with my sister accompanying me, and then the day of came. No, because I was like, you're not playing. Mom needs to play for me. I got so panicked. I knew the words by heart, but we printed out the sheet music, and I sang it like this.
You never know.
Yeah, and this song, do you know the song Breath of Heaven?
Yes. Oh, of course.
It was Breath of Heaven. Well, yeah, but I have 6 brothers. Yes. And they're brutal. And then they're like, why are you singing this? It's not even a Christmas song. But it's about Mary. So, of course, they... Yeah, but they are like, this doesn't matter. Anyway.
Whatever.
The joke is that it was a literal breath of heaven because I was singing so quiet like this.
That's hilarious. Yeah. You got to start somewhere. That's what they say, which I love that. Oh my gosh.
So that was my humble beginning.
Yes. Oh my gosh. No, I love that answer. That's so good. I'm going to think of that every time I hear Breath of Heaven now. I'm going to go back to that and be like, oh, bless Jenn's heart. So what was the hardest yes you made early on? So saying yes to a creative risk or a performance or something that felt scary, kind of similar to what we were just talking about. Is there anything that comes to mind if you were like, ooh, saying yes to that in the moment was like, I don't think I can do that. That's terrifying. But you did it. And here we are now, kind of learned from it.
I think saying yes to things doesn't inspire me. I feel like things that people might deem as risky, I'm more like, no, I need to do the thing. I think more my career has been defined by things I say no to and opportunities that have come to me that I say no because it's not aligned with my values. And I've had to do a lot of that, where a lot of people have had said no to me because I was saying yes to God or my commitment to whatever. So I feel more like that yes is fun. If it's risky, I know I'm doing it right. If it's maybe illogical, that's when I know that God is guiding the journey. And so the yes is less scary and it's more thrilling.
What did your artist identity, or I don't know, whatever that looks like for you, maybe look like 5-10 years ago versus now? Have you seen any shifts in how you kind of view your artistry in general or your journey or whatever that looks like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, depending, or now, kind of seeing a shift in anything that you can think of, which I know.
I have like kind of two answers for this.
Perfect.
Ira Glass talks often about this chasm between, have you heard the quote?
No.
Between your skill and your tastes.
Ooh,
and so you need to keep going because your taste is unique, but oftentimes your skill and your taste don't align. It's like my tastes are here, but I don't have the skills to like bring that into alignment. So if you listen to some of my first recordings that are not on the internet and are from like high school and whatever.
In the archives.
Yeah, I'm like, cool. I'm so, I'm not even proud of this, but I'm like, no one's going to hear this.
Yep.
But it was me trying to bridge that gap, and you had to start somewhere. You had to just like start going. And so I feel like my last record and the music I'm finally releasing, I've been able to bridge that chasm between, pardon, my skill and my taste.
Yeah.
But more interestingly, in like the past week, I'm all of a sudden having this awareness that people are like obsessed with these religious tunes, which I literally was just having a conversation with my family because I like posted some hymn medleys, whatever, and the internet's like, yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, where I'm like, whoa, I've never, honestly, like I've never considered making Christian music.
Yeah.
For a few reasons. One, Latter-day Saints are aren't welcome in Christian music spheres. Like, because we're not considered as Christians. But more so meaning, like, for me, I don't really give a rat's. But I have a friend that, her song that is popular, these Christian radio stations found out that she's a Latter-day Saint and then pulled her song from the channels. And it's dumb for us because I realize like Latter-day Saints are really unique in the sense that we believe all truth can be circumscribed into one great whole. So our approach, I feel like, at least in my experience, is, whoa, let's like meet on this level of common ground and like celebrate that we believe in God together. But the other world is more like, no, here's where you're wrong and going to hell. And I feel really grateful for me of the restored truth of like, no one's really going to hell unless you see Jesus and deny him. Exactly. And then everything else is like, give each other grace and like, and like chill out and like love your neighbor.
It all works out in the end.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I love that.
Anyway, so now I really am kind of low-key at this impasse where I'm like, whoa, what's nuts is I've been finishing up an album. Like, behind the scenes, I've been recording all of these songs. Yeah, and they're almost done. But now all of a sudden, these people are wanting religious music. I had never really considered, like, fully leaning into, like, making Christian stuff. Yeah. Because I don't really listen to a lot of Christian music. And partly because it didn't resonate with me. And so, like, right? Like, I'll rip on, like, right? Exactly. Like, I had never, and so this conversation's interesting where I'm like, oh my gosh, am I needing to make the Christian record that I wish existed? And maybe that's what I need to do next. But then I'm like, what about this album that I was just finishing up? Like, do I just, like, release it and then I'm like, let me go work on this other stuff? Like, I don't really know.
No, that's so fair. I love this. So, like,
yeah,
this is interesting. I loved that you're talking about it because I think every artist, no matter how small level, big level, whatever, we've all been like through that same mental, like, feels like a hamster wheel where it's like, it just feels like you can't really like figure out what's going on, what you should be doing, where your feet should be planted. It's so easy to kind of get lost in the sauce, as I like to say all the time. But with that, the hardest thing about social media is obviously it's the highlight reel, right? So we're always posting, oh, this is great, it's going well, I love this. And that's one thing I love about how vulnerable you are in your posting and sharing on social media, which I think is so important for artists, which is why I'm literally doing what I'm doing, to show people I'm like into the brains of artists, what we're thinking, why we're doing what we're doing, and showing people that they're not alone when they are thinking back and forth between these things of like, okay, what is my core? Like, what should that be? I love that you're doing it, and I think it's amazing. Spoken before about how rejection has shaped you, which even then, like, you've talked about it on social media or other formats, but can you tell me about any sort of rejection that hurt but ended up redirecting you in a positive way, if that makes sense? Like any experience that you've had where maybe that door closed or it was a no or something, but it ended up turning into something that you're like, oh, I'm so happy that happened.
I've just been rejected by so many record labels and people and whatever. I also feel like this is a really interesting hinge point in my life too.
Yes.
With now like venturing into more religious music where I feel low key like my music wasn't necessarily getting rejected, but it wasn't really going where I wanted it to go.
Like it's not taking off. Yeah. Like what's happening?
Literally, Brienne.
Yeah.
So when I did this song, like I'm trying to be like Jesus, it was such a
crazy
earth-shattering thing for me to be like,
whoa.
Oh,
yeah,
like this is actually gaining momentum. And no one, and like no one really knows I do hymn renditions because I'll do it at church or things, but it like changes people's lives and God descends and like it's magical. But I had never connected a dot of like, okay, so like do this as a career. I'd always thought like maybe one day I'll make an album for it and like that will be like a cute thing for. But then, like, yesterday I was with someone, they're like, dude, Christian music's, like, really having this moment. So I'm also like, is it? Like,
wait, no, it's...
Yes.
The mind is, like, exploding a little bit. It's real.
Yes.
No, I get it.
So it also feel a bit like, whoa, is this exactly what you asked right now? Like, is this rejection being a massive redirection for my life where I'm really claiming my discipleship and also making it in a universe where I'm like, dude, I don't listen to contemporary Christian music really unless they're like my friend. But but I'm going to make like the indie rock record that happens to be all Christian, but like it's just like an indie rock record that rips and it happens to be about God.
I do want to talk about Girl Indigo, which is like...
Slay, I would love. Okay,
favorites. I would say in general, what would you say is maybe like the concept behind it? What ways maybe did it push you creatively? Like in general, just maybe highlights from that experience in general from creating it.
So Girl Indigo, let me tell you something. I was on my mission and I was like really on fire about the Book of Mormon. I felt like, wow, people are not reading this book that is like the juice of where everything is. I want to come home and I want to make this record and I want to like put God into music, whatever. And I want the record to be like indigo with gold on the front. That's what I told myself. Anyway, come home and I was like, but I also was like, I was crazy and I was being extreme. So forgot about it. I start making this record. Anyway, I moved to New York City after my mission, which is where I served. And then I moved back there. And I moved there because I needed to meet this homie named Spencer. And I was saying backup for him in his little band with his girlfriend at the time. And then I ended up moving back from New York. American Idol happened, whatever. And also, Brienne, as you know, probably finding a producer is one of the hardest things to do.
Really tough.
Then I moved and I was wanting to work with him again. And I like sold all of my clothes because I was so broke to fly back out to New York and work with him. Anyway, there's so much I could say about Girl Indigo. The way it all started coming together is a miracle. We worked on these songs. And then as I was working on them, I started realizing like, oh my gosh, without realizing it, this album is all about my experience as a spirit being now having a body. And like my journey with that. Yeah, I feel like, so the first song on the album is called What's Wrong With Me. And then the album ends with the song Alien. And and a theme that I faced a lot in high school was feeling so lonely and feeling so misunderstood that everyone so cared about the physical body. Willow Smith, I heard her give this, me too. She gave this interview and she was like, oh, there's this new aura color, indigo, and indigo children or children with this aura indigo feel like they are from a different planet. They're highly creative. They're deeply intuitive. She was saying all these things and I was like yes, but I never had language for it. Totally. So then that's when the title Girl Indigo came about. And I was like, yes, this is what this album means. The cover is like me praying. And then it wasn't until I was like way later down the road that I realized, oh my gosh, the album title is written in gold and it's indigo. And so indigo and gold were on the cover of the album like the Book of Mormon. But
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. See, it all pieced together. Your live album, this feels like healing. I am just so curious as well about that process. Like what made you want to do a live album? Like what were your experiences like doing that? Because that is something I've always loved is live albums. I feel like people sleep on those. I love listening to them. I think they're so fun.
love listening to them too.
They're so good.
It came about by accident. My friend was doing this house show in his basement during COVID times.
Yep.
And he is a producer himself. And I said, yo, could we record this? He said yes. And so then that's what I did.
That's all I need to know. You're like, and we're doing it. Oh,
and also because it was a similar feeling of, okay, so my friend Spencer I worked on this album with is a legend, and he recently won a Grammy. Like, he's so good.
Okay, Spencer.
Yeah, working with him has been such a gift.
Yeah.
But then what ended up happening was I couldn't afford him anymore. And so then... Yeah, so then I was like, okay. Cool. So then I just write a gazillion songs. So then I had so many songs, and I was like, okay, well, I can't record all of these, so let's release them as live versions. The song I really want to record with a band is the song "This Feels Like Healing."
Yes.
And in the live one, I sang it down, pitched down, because my voice, I've had vocal issues.
Right, that's right.
But
I forgot about that too.
Yes, if I were to do it again, I'd pitch it up. So then it really hits when it's and it feels like then the band comes in and you're like,
oh my gosh, you're like feeling it. Oh my gosh. Literally, this is what healing feels like. There you go. That's like looking forward, vision, advice, even things like that. But if you, which you've kind of already said this, but if you were to go back to your younger self, say like 18, 20-ish, maybe even younger, what advice would you give when it comes to navigating a journey in music or even artist, creativity, whatever you want to call it? What advice would you give? Which, again, is a loaded question, but a good one. It's a good one.
Girl, so I would tell young Jenny baby at 18, 19 to be like, girl, trust in the process. You're going to compare your journey to other people's. My advice to you is to not do that and just go and and this is the advice I would give to anybody is just trust in the Lord and watch how he is orchestrating everything, and that God plays a long game, and it's so much easier said than done. I was so depressed in my mid-20s because nothing was coming together. And now I'm like, oh, it's coming together. It's just so coming together different.
Yes, no, I love that. Being able to take a step back and look at everything with as big of a picture as you can is so important to be able to do, because it will save yourself from a lot of mental hassle of oh my gosh, it's not working, it's not happening, or I need to do it on this timeline. So I love that advice. I think that's so huge. I love it. I love it.
I think it's so hope-filled if you believe that the universe has your back.
Yes.
They're like, the universe is here, designed, created for me to succeed.
Yeah.
And when I lean into whatever inklings I'm getting from the universe, that's why when you're like, what things have you said yes to? I'm like, dog, saying yes to the thing that feels risky, is the way. And once you start realizing it's the way, it all starts kind of and so anyway.
No, I love that. So basically my last little thing I'll throw in there, which I always do for every artist because it's so important, this is the biggest thing, is all the plugs. So what is going on? Where can we find you? Where can we see you? What should we be listening to? So in general, just where can we see you? Where can we find you and listen? All the things. Give us the rundown.
So my name is Jenn Blosil. You can find me wherever you listen to music. I highly recommend listening through not just my top songs, because honestly my Apple Music is chopped, and give things a solid listen, because there's bound to be one song that you might like. I'm performing around, and also just stay tuned for the journey. Follow me on Instagram or TikTok if you want to be part of the journey. And if not, then also no worries.
You're it's
music is subjective. Go be a fan of who you want to be a fan of.
I love that. Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, that's amazing. You're so amazing. Everything you say, I'm I'm writing it down. I'm getting inspired. You're so good. I love it. I love it. But I'm excited to see where it all goes.
Me too.
You're me too.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Well, I'm excited to follow, to listen, to see where it goes, because I will be there. I'll be listening. I will be vibing. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But you killed that. I would give you the high five through, but I can't. That's usually I'm a high five girl, I love it.